And what's up, everybody? This is Ninja Burrito, and we're back with another Ninja Gaiden 4 guide. This time, Master Ninja, and not only is it not Master Ninja, but it is a fresh save with none of the deluxe edition bonuses, no benefits, no craziness. It is raw Master Ninja gameplay with no benefits. And it's on chapter 12 this time. We're going to be getting the two Gordies that are in this level. We're going to be getting the Purgatory Gate on max difficulty, and we are going to be doing all of the things for maximum health that are required. But first, let's start off with our newest weapon. It gains 4 new abilities in this mission, so we're going to go ahead and earn those. And for the first time ever in this mission, we are going to cap out our ninja coin. Despite being an itemless run, it still takes a long time to get ninja coin capped, and of course we're not going to cap weapon XP because you just need way too much of it to even come close to capping. But we are finally done with all the weapon skills for Yakumo. We have learned everything that can be learned. There's a 5th weapon. I don't believe you can learn any skills for it in the campaign. I think you have to learn them in the post game, but we'll check on that. And there are still weapon skills to learn, I believe, with the dragon sword, right? So that will be Hayabusa's weapon, but when we get to his missions. But pick up your missions, turn in your missions, do whatever you need to do here, and then we will get going. We get the blood leech amulet, I think, that gives you the life steal on obliteration technique. That's a pretty good one. We're gonna be using a varied amount of accessories here. I personally think your best bet for a no item run anyways is probably the diamond ring for defense, and then really whatever you want for the 4th slot. You can do more defense, you can do offense, you can do life steal, you can do blood orb drop rate, whatever you really prefer. They're all kind of viable. For me, I don't remember what I have slotted at the moment. I think it reduces like the range damage reduction, but honestly, you don't need that. I just am really lazy about swapping out my accessories. Later, though, we will be swapping them out intentionally. But don't miss any of the chests that you're seeing me grab here. This should be the 2nd chest. I don't know why I can't jump up this wall. I think that's really dumb. So we're gonna run around. This is a longer mission as well, guys, especially if you're like me and you die like 30 times trying to learn the encounters and whatnot. Our number of deaths has overall averaged out, to go, down in the most recent missions, which is nice. I think we died 11 times in the last mission, 30 in this, which is a lot better than like 80 and 100 and 120 deaths in a mission, But we're going to open up with the Blood Raven Form X triple combo with the ranged weapon here, and we're going to try to make use of its ranged powers, but you'll see I'm trying out the new move set, trying to see if we can, do anything with these attacks. They're pretty cool, but really just trying them out. For the most part, we are going to be mixing up our weapons as well. You'll notice that I go for that Flying Swallow with a Takamenakata on the ranged enemies since they die so quickly. Also, I pick up some blood orbs from the debris that I broke over there, which is really helpful. Just watch out for air combos around the ogre guys, the whatever they're called, I don't remember at the moment, because they can hit you out of the air. You see I lost half my health despite having defensive accessories on, so that really gets a little spicy, to say the least. So with this mission, I did struggle a little bit because I ended up dying on almost every encounter at least once to try and learn it, and it took me a few tries on the Purgatory Gate. So the difficulty might be a little bit higher, or at least it's something to learn. It could be that I'm rusty because I haven't played the game in a few days. My birthday was on Halloween, and we had a bunch of like festivities and stuff since then, so I really haven't had a chance to play any Ninja Gaiden. I've been playing things like Zelda with my kids. I've been, doing all that kind of cool stuff. But enough about that. We are using the triple combo here. Notice the AoE damage on the Death Box's ranged Blood Raven attack. I think that's what makes it so powerful, is that you can have 3 or 4 enemies trying to power attack you in the same area, and you just hit all of them from a safe distance. We are going to get our Berserk stance here, but I'm going to elect not to use it yet. I see that we have Essence on the field. Oh, wait. Never mind. I'm thinking about it later. I am going to use Berserk stance here. I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll talk about other Berserk stances later. There is going to be a lot of Berserk stance chaining in this mission because it makes it easier, even though it can be a little tricky. But for this part, we're just going to blow it. I totally forgot about that, so that's my bad. Once everybody is dead, you know, there's no real secrets in here. And something that you should be used to by now, if you made it this far, is that I do take my time to explore and make sure I don't miss anything for you guys. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything important in this mission. Maybe like a couple like healing item chests, but we're not too worried about that. We got all the good stuff. However, that does mean there's going to be some footage of me running around like an idiot from time to time. So I'll call that out when we get to it. But there's a chest on the right here, and that's about it. And then we can keep going. Now the second and third encounter isn't too bad because we have the Kage blah 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 ranged weapon. We're gonna blast these guys just from downfield. You'll see we missed a guy, but we can interrupt our attack to dodge when we need to there. And you can see that it just sieges them from so far away, dude. I'm going to swap to the Takamenakata to do the Flying Swallows and get that, oh, that Fatal Flash, dude. The perfect Fatal Flash. So good. And then we can get some UTs going. Now, you don't have to Fatal Flash there, obviously, but when it happens, when you do pull it off perfectly like that, it feels so good. And then, of course, back to our regularly scheduled ultimate techniques, right? And again, trying out the new combos, trying to see how I can use that. There are some tough fights in this level. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, there's a lot more to it than just getting used to fighting some of the enemy combos here, you know, where they're like, oh, we're layering some officers. No, there's like some straight up evil fights. You can't avoid some of them. Some of them are those assassination baits where if you assassinate the enemy, you know, it doesn't spawn enemies. We're going to skip ahead here because I died. But some of those tough fights are optional, and we will just intentionally trigger them to have a better time. I like to go up the right side here and use my ranged attack on the ranged dudes so that we can get some essence. But if you're careful here, you'll see you can actually shoot pretty much everyone off a cliff here and have the easiest fight ever. If you don't do that, it can be a little bit tricky, so I recommend it. And again, that's just using Blood Raven form plus X with facing the cliff side to just shoot as many of them off the cliff as possible. And then we can keep it moving. Again, I'm looking for secrets. Don't worry too much about it. Just go onto the elevator from here. In fact, I'll try to skip ahead here. So on the elevator, you're going to charge up an ultimate technique and wait for them to spawn and then let it go. I don't do a great job on this fight, but you can pretty much play it as you would anything else. Once that ultimate technique lands, try to get the UTs. I didn't get a D-lim on this guy somehow, so I'm going to use the A plus X to try and stun them, like this. And then try to create an opportunity, but I'm not having a whole lot of luck here. So what I should do is swap to Takamenakata, which I have. Oh, nice. And try to get these air Ys in Blood Raven form, or go for a Azuna drop. But we get the D-lim with the Blood Raven plus Y, or the heavy attack in the air. So triangle for PlayStation players. And then we guillotine throw that dude right off the cliff. And that's going to be a recurring theme, guys. We're going to be guillotine throwing a lot of dudes in this mission. You don't have to if you want to have some more fun with the game. But if you want an easy way to get through Master Ninja, we are going to be just throwing dudes off cliffs for free kills quite a bit in this mission. As you can see, he didn't quite make it that time, so I threw myself off the cliff out of shame. But then, of course, he's next. Don't you worry. So we took a lot of damage there. It is what it is. But again, this is a no-item run, so we will get healed one way or another, whether through death or whether through items. We will find a way to get healed. And again, just showing there's no secrets on the elevator, but there is a chest as soon as the elevator ride is over. Right here. Alright, so again, no secrets. We can keep going. And this is the mission that has the achievement Laser's Edge, which is to avoid touching any lasers. You can come over here for a chest, which has an accessory in it. Don't want to miss this one. But there is an achievement for not touching any of the lasers. I do have an achievement guide up for that if you need. But we're not going to be worried about that on our Master Ninja run. I do mess it up, but it's, like it is what it is. Not going to worry about it. There's no chest on this side, so I should skip ahead. Bloop. Just like that. Bloop. Bloop. So we're going to jump over the lasers here. And then slide under some lasers here. And then we jump over some lasers here. Welcome to the laser mission, everyone. I don't think there's a chest over here. I do check for it. Yeah, there's no chest. Let's keep going. And no chest down here. So we're going to try to get through these lasers. I do mess it up once before I get it right. This is one of the trickier ones in the level. Oh, I'm sorry, not this one. This one we don't mess up. This is a good one. I'm thinking about a later one. There's no chest down here, but if you need healing, there are some healing orbs. Alright, come on, Yakumo. Now this fight, we're going to skip ahead because I do mess it up the first time. It is a little tricky because you got this heavy infantry. But I'll show you how to get him done. Again, this attack is just too good. Just watch out because he does not get stunned by it unless he is doing a power attack. But it will delim him pretty hard if you do it a couple of times. So it's just that strong. And then, of course, we got that RB plus X to close the gap there in Blood Raven form. It's pretty cool. One of our new attacks. But we can keep moving. This is where we have an encounter, and then we have an optional area to go to. I'm telling you, man, like, this attack is just a little too crazy. Because they are all just trapped over there. And you see that we get a bunch of D-limbs, so we're just going to come over here. That guy's not D-limbed, but these two are. So we'll finish them off. And then we're in good shape for a UT. I do run around this area a little bit looking for items. There aren't any worth worrying about, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit until we come to the back area. So if you turn around from the direction we arrived, you'll have this little area that will lead to an important fight. There's, I don't think there's a chest up here or anything like that, but there is a rail, so you'll just want to grab onto the rail so we can continue with the level. Now this fight's not too bad, guys. We're going to open up with our wonderful Blood Raven plus X form. Try not to get killed by the gunman there. He will delete you. But it's just these three guys, which we'll be facing far worse than these three guys in this mission. And again, like, I'm getting beat up pretty badly, and it just really doesn't matter. Swap into the Takaminikata can be helpful as well for the dueling that it provides, and it's just better in melee combat than the Kage. But that's our Execute the Elite DDO Squadron. Again, I'm just making sure I don't miss anything, but no, the missables are much later in the level, guys. Much, much later. And again, I'll skip ahead a little bit because there's just nothing in this area. And we are back. And again, I'll skip ahead because there's nothing there. We're just going to drop down and return from whence we came. All right, so this next couple encounters, there's no checkpoint between them, so you do have to finish 2 encounters, and it can be tricky. But before you do, there is a chest that you should grab. Not over here, but underneath us, there's a chest. You can get there this way or from just running from the lower level. But this chest right here, don't miss it. And then we'll swing across. Looks like I did die a few times here, so I'm going to cut ahead, but not very well, apparently. So the first group has a Naginata guy, a rifleman guy, and I think a shuriken guy. The shuriken guy is the biggest threat, and there's a rocket launcher guy in the back, but I don't really worry too much about him. I use the staff here to get some AoE damage with that UT, and we do pick up essence from the light that gets broken when we get there, which makes it a little bit easier to get started. Again, swap to the Kage here and get some ranged Blood Raven attacks in, and that seals the deal. The fight is tougher than it looks, so just be extra careful. And I'm going to ranged kill this guy. There's a chest back here. We'll come back for it in a second. I just want to get up here as fast as possible. I mess up my charging the UT, though. Alright, now we're cooking. Alright, we got a couple of them down thanks to that essence. Or, I'm sorry, that UT that had no essence. But now we've got more essence-based UTs. I try to use the staff if I feel like there's a bunch of them that can be clumped together. And I get a kill with a flying swallow here. So you can get creative if you'd like. I'm just keeping it simple. And now that we have so many options, the staff for AoE, the Takamenakata for melee dueling, or the rapier for 1v1 dueling in particular, with the extra range, if you need melee and ranged for dueling, get that rapier. Or if you want to stay far away, you use the Kage. And so you'll see me swapping quite a few weapons around these encounters just to make sure that whatever the situation calls for, I'm going to use. And it's not something like old Ninja Gaiden's, you know, where you'll use a particular weapon for an encounter. We are swapping weapons on the fly multiple times in some of these encounters to solve situations that happen in the moment, right? And I think that's pretty cool. So those two encounters are done. You should get a checkpoint now, but don't go jumping off any cliffs just yet. Let's make sure there's no secrets because we're coming up on our first Gordy. So behind this chest is Gordy number 1. That leaves just a couple more Gordys left, guys. I think that's Gordy number, what, 13? So I think we're only missing one at the end of this. At the end of this all. Alright, so let's go. Continue with the level. I'm looking around like, am I missing something? I'm not. Always paranoid. This fight is pretty tough. We're going to skip ahead. So here's the thing. There's 2 targets. You can assassinate the first one. If you assassinate them both, it'll skip the crazy hard part entirely. But if you want more kills, then I recommend assassinating the first dude and then ultimate techniquing the second dude. And this will spawn in a lot of enemies, guys. A lot. We're going to use the essence from those kills to try and get some ultimate techniques going. I happen to hit the heavy infantry. Ideally, what we want to do is kill the shuriken ninjas as fast as possible. And they will just spam a lot of attacks and power attacks at you. So I'm trying to create distance. I stun one of them with shurikens while the other 2 were in hit stun or hit recovery from their combos. And then we use A plus X with the Kage to stun them further. Again, this ranged attack is just so good. And so we get that guy dealt with. We're going to OT him. And now we should have the essence necessary for the shuriken ninjas. But I'm trying to create distance so that we don't die. He's throwing shurikens, so I let go of my UT to deal with that. Because they are very threatening, man. They'll delete you instantly. So you just got to watch out. But when the opportunity presents itself, swapping to the Kage and doing that Blood Raven form attack, it's just that powerful. And once they're de-limbed, we can go down there and just finish them off, which they both are de-limbed at this point. Still deadly, though. Still deadly. Be careful. This fight might take you a few tries if you choose to attempt it. It's not an easy one. But now you can see we're capped on Ninja Coin, all 9s, and we can continue with the mission. Didn't miss any secrets. We're just going to keep going. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm flying like I'm drunk, but that's okay. Go low and then high. Bada bing. Not really any secrets to miss here. There might be a chest coming up if I remember correctly, but we'll grab it if there is. There's nothing on these platforms though. Nothing down here. Ah, yes, that's right. These guys. So we're gonna assassinate 2 of them and then just Blood Raven form the 3rd one. And then just for fun, we'll UT him as well. Once you're here, talk to Umi to turn in your missions and get healed. So this Tiger's Eye ring that we get is a 3-slot ring like the diamond ring, but it's for attack. I'm going to be honest, I don't find it that useful on Master Ninja yet. Once we get good enough, you might find that you'll kill enemies faster with it, but I can't pair it with the extra like 1-slot ring of attack damage because I never picked it up. So for now, I'm not really going to try to make much use of this ring, but you absolutely can, especially on boss fights and things where you just need more damage and you're capable of avoiding his attacks. But now we have lasers. Just avoid the lasers as necessary. And now we have a pretty interesting fight coming up. I do turn around to look for secrets because I'm that paranoid, but let's skip ahead. And there's a chest up here. And now this fight, I did die the first time. There's some debris on the right that you can use for blood essence if you need. But if you do die, you can literally just charge a UT right off the bat. And you should have time. And you'll see that we have a lightning attack. I roll through the boxes to generate essence. And then we use that on the enemies. Alright, we got some good essence going. Used some of our new techniques. They are pretty good. But really, just like always, try to keep generating essence or D-limbs. Those are like your resources to deal with this fight. We do have a heavy infantry now. He kind of complicates things a little bit on Master Ninja. But as long as you use your essence on the little guys, you'll be okay. It is difficult to avoid the lasers, but I just opted to not turn them off. When you first attempt this room, it can be advantageous to turn the lasers off before spawning in the enemies. So just something to think about. I almost died to a laser. This guy is giving me some trouble, so we're going to kill this D-limbed dude. And now we have Berserk Stance and can just finish them off. And then the blind UT charge for the final kill. And that's that. Might take you a couple tries. But we are moving on. Oh yeah, I fall in this crevice looking for a chest a couple of times, but there's no chest there, dude. Alright, so moving on. This encounter killed me the first time too. You can use Blood Raven form on the guy on the left or the right. Just be careful, because if they power attack, you do dies. So you could play defensively and roll back into that little alley on the left, that little railing towards the chest. You could go back there to start. Might be a little bit better for you. And again, you can probably guillotine these guys if you'd like, but I just don't have guillotine on the mind for this encounter. If you do equip the amulet that gives you lifesteal on obliteration techniques, it's very, very advantageous here. Definitely worth a pickup, since it only really fills 1 slot. I do go backwards here to try and like find some more secrets, but guess what? There aren't any, and you can't. So let me learn that lesson for you guys. So there's that one chest in the back that we grabbed, and that's all there is to this part. We can go through the door to continue. I said we can go through the door to continue. Okay, thank you. All right, so this part's a little tricky on Master Ninja. They added a couple more enemies in. There's 2 dudes with Naginatas. I did end up dying the first time, just bad play, honestly. I just played poorly. But you can use an ultimate technique here to open up this fight. Just remember, just like in Mission 1, right? When the Naginata charges at you, that's when they're most vulnerable. And then just watch out for the ranged attack. I'm going to jump into the sky so I can then dodge it more easily. Because it stuns the first dude. So I'm not dodging both at the same time. Alright, so now they're dead. And then let's see if we can't get a UT on this guy. There we go. And of course, Blood Raven Form plus X is just that strong, man. Again, it won't stun them unless you get a delim or unless they're power attacking. So in that case, we just got the delim. Otherwise, he would have got a free attack off on us. There's a chest behind us here. So make sure you get that. And we are making good progress. Again, no real secrets to miss. Just keep going. I'm going to assassinate this guy, which you can absolutely do, and then we're not going to assassinate the next guy to spawn in the extra enemies. Again, you don't have to do that. That is just if you want to get more kills. And this actual fight can be a little tricky. You probably want to just do an ultimate technique on that guy instead, but I elected not to. I'm getting wrecked by these bullets, but we get the UT off just in time. Unfortunately, though, we don't get the Shuriken Ninja, so I do the air stun, and then he hits me. So it is close. I'm going to create some distance. You can go around the corner here to charge the UT a little bit safer. You know what I mean? But I waited way too long to do it and have to do Blood Raven Form plus X, or plus the light attack, to deal with the Shuriken. Once he's dead, it's a lot easier. You can then just kite into a UT with the essence. And then you're golden from there, guys. Just remember, like, don't be tempted. You know, it can be tempting to try and push these gunmen while they're shooting. Just play it safe. You can just hold block when there's only one enemy. Just block their bullets and then attack when they're done. And again, I'm like, secrets? No, no secrets yet. All right, this fight can be a little tricky, but this attack is just a little too strong. You see that the camera slowed down because we got some D-limbs. We got to dodge this lightning. And then I tried to guillotine him off, but it failed, which is probably for the best because the OT is better for us. There will be a second wave of enemies, but we're just going to do this for now. Shoot that guy off a cliff. And that should give us some essence. Two guillotine throws and this guy gets D-lammed because those range guys are pretty weak. And then I mess up the essence absorb here and then throw that guy into him. Into a charged UT. So it works out. It works out. And he's gone. Then just deal with this guy. You're good to go. Alright, still no secrets. Just keep going. Come on, Yakumo. We got places to be. Alright, let's go. Get some blood orbs from these boxes. And now we're at a checkpoint. Sorry. So yeah, so far it's going pretty well. I don't think there's a chest in this area. No, there's not. No chest here. So let's continue. So we're about halfway through at this point. This is one of our next missions. Make sure you use the newest weapon, the death box, to kill these things. We need to kill 3 of them with the death box, and there are 4 in the level, I believe. Wait. No. I think there's 6 in the level. So 3 of them have to die with the death box. That'll be our first one. They die pretty easily. You can use Blood Raven form and whatever you want, honestly, and they'll just die. So that's 2. I'm thinking about secrets, but I'm like, nah, there's nothing. I'm finally getting it. Like, no, there's nothing. Just go. You can wall ride this and then deal with this guy from the air if you want. And that's our mission complete, all 3. Don't miss this chest. And I do die on the next encounter, but it checkpoints. I'll show you a pretty easy way to deal with it. So this area here is safe, right? So we're going to pull the enemies back to this area to avoid the missile fire from the Vanguard, which is what they call those things. And then we can charge a UT, and, you know, it is what it is. Somehow that UT didn't UT, but that's okay. Because we have the power of the Heart of the Cards and this really strong weapon. They almost got me. But not today. So yeah, just be a little bit careful. They do recover quickly. And then for this thing, just run and jump to avoid its rockets. You need to avoid 2 barrages before you'll get a chance to kill it. So don't rush it. And now it's dead. And that's it. That's it for this area. You can proceed to the next yellow door of your choice. I am looking around for stuff and not finding it. So again, yellow door. Let's go. And we're back to Laser City. There's nothing over here. So just go and hit the lasers and move on. And of course, don't miss the chest. I spent some time looking around, as one does, but this next encounter looks a little spooky. What you're going to do is start with range attacks to kill those guys, and now we have essence from their deaths. Although we don't get the essence. We just do a charge, but hey, that's okay. I Blood Raven blocked that for some reason. I was trying to do some other attacks, but it just wasn't doing them. So it is what it is. And I just end up toying with this guy for a little bit, trying out different attacks. You know. Until we finally decide to put him to rest. See it, dude. Alright, so that's the laser area. I'm just looking around. We can proceed. There's nothing really in this area at all. As you can tell, I'm just trying to figure it out. But yeah, we can keep going. Come on, Yakumo. Let's go. Alright, this part. We can now fly away. They originally showed this part of the level at, what, was it Gamescom? Which was pretty cool. And that was where we were like, Yakumo can fly? What? You know? Alright, this fight's a little tricky. Here's what we're going to do. Assassinate the first dude, and then kite up to this thing. I'm actually going to use the essence to UT it, and then jump off the edge here. So that we can jump over to the other side. And deal with this one. The enemies will be right behind us. And I accidentally jump off the edge. But that's okay. We can just kite them into a UT. And my UT just goes to fucking Narnia for no reason. So that's cool. Watch out for the heavy guy, of course, and the the ninja officer. The shuriken officers are so brutal, dude. And my UT somehow hits him while he's in the air, so don't ask me how that works. And again, they're just kind of swarming us, so we just create some distance. And hope that this UT doesn't whiff. And it doesn't. Nice. We got some more enemies coming in. I'll save the ranged guys for last, per usual. I just really want to get some essence charged for UT. And we nail it. Alright, we're doing alright here. You could probably just guillotine throw these guys off the edge if you really wanted to be honest. But you know, it is what it is. As you can see though, you can combine those two attacks to juggle them, which is kind of fun. And then we'll just deal with the last ranged guy. Now, I spent some time looking for secrets here. There are none, so I'm going to skip ahead. There really isn't anything. Sorry for the Discord notification. I'm not in streamer mode. Yeah, I spent some time looking for stuff. Did not find. There is a chest and the second Gordy in this area. So that's, you know, that's a thing. But just make sure you pick up the chest and the Gordy. He's a stealth Gordy, so, you know, gotta give him space if he spots you. The two chests down here, you'll get those for ninja coin if you need. There's nothing else, so we can just jump on the rail from there. Now, this fight did kill me the first time. The key is to kill the gunman first and use his essence on the Naginata guy. That's my opinion. And watch out for his big lobs like that, because they are big AoE attacks. Since we're out of Blood Raven juice, we're going to need to build some up, so I'm fighting this guy for the time being. But now that we've got some, it's time to start cooking. There we go. Now we got the right guy targeted. We got some essence from the box there for the UT. And then we got the DLM for the OT. Beautiful. So the ultimate techniques are pretty strong, and the obliteration techniques do feed us really nice essence. And if you're using that, that accessory that gives you life on obliteration technique, it's pretty nice, man. All right, so now we get into the missable secrets section. Once you've done that fight, it's time to start paying attention. There's a chest here on the right. We don't really care about that, but what we do care about is coming down this way and swinging a little swing action to do the Purgatory Gate. For the Purgatory Gate, the accessories I used was the diamond ring, and then for my 4th slot accessory, I used the cobalt ring. That's literally all defense. That's all I used to make it pretty doable. This one's kind of tough, to be honest, and the key that I found in its success is saving Berserk Stance. So I mentioned this at the start of the video, right, that we were going to be carrying Berserk Stance forward quite a bit. That's what we do here. We carry Berserk Stance forward from waves 1 and 2 to the 3rd wave, and that's what helps us succeed. So I open up with, the usual crazy ranged attacks with this weapon. We're going to be using this weapon mostly. I think I used the Taka Minakata, and I might use the staff at one point. I don't remember if it's this particular run that I use the staff or not, so we'll find out together. But this attack is just really, really good if you have time for it. But what we're looking to do is feed our resources with obliteration techniques. Get that essence flowing, and then chain the UTs on after that. So we've got us a D-Lamp dude here. We can OT. Actually, a couple of them. But we're just going to UT him, I guess, instead, because that's the decision we made. Now, I struggle to do this properly with the death box, so I prefer the Taka Minakata for it. But you want to isolate their gunmen pretty quickly and kill them for easy essence. And you can do that pretty easily with the triple flying swallow. So if you go to the Taka Minakata, you see they have one of their cannon guys. Triple flying swallow, their cannon guy with the Taka Minakata will usually decapitate him, and then you've got essence on the field. This first wave isn't too bad, honestly. But now wave 2. Wave 2, it's very tempting to use your berserk meter. I intentionally absorb the essence and try not to use it until wave 3. What makes it tricky is the Shuriken Ninja officers, honestly. They are the ones that cause the most trouble here. The Naginatas are a little tricky, but it's the swordsmen and it's the Shuriken Ninjas that are probably the worst. Naginata you just get used to. They're just, you know, it is what it is. The thing about the UTs is, like, at this point in the game, you'll get like a tier 2 UT, and for the most part, it will only kill one enemy, which makes it pretty tricky. Guillotine throw is effective, though. That's sniping, dudes. The riflemen and range guys do have less health than the melees, though. So in that way, you can get them killed quicker for easier essence. The problem is they're also less threatening. So like you don't really want to kill them first unless you really need the essence. I think this weapon just is a little too good at what it does. So we're almost at the third and final wave here, where we will actually use our Berserk stance. Wave 3. We're almost dead, but we're going to make it work. There's Berserk. And we're still continuing our previous UT here. And we're just going to try to end them. The problem? He's, well, he's dead. So it's not really a problem at all. Alright, so clean up this last dude, and you're done. That's where the Berserk stance really helps. You delete that Goliath in the middle. You delete some of those Shuriken Ninjas, and you're just literally done like that. So that's a bit of a longer purgatory gate. Sorry about that, guys. It's a chunky one, and honestly, it can take you quite a few tries because there's just so many different enhanced officers at the same time, and that's what makes it so difficult. But we can finally move on. We have another optional thing coming up where we fight Anekawa again for our mission. And honestly, this is the easiest Anekawa's ever been because we have the Kage yada 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 ranged weapon, and it just is such a game changer against Anekawa. It really is. He just can't do anything against us with this weapon, and that's kind of crazy. So before we get to that, though, it's time to fall. I do something really embarrassing, and I get hit twice here, so try not to do that. On this water section, don't mess around, you know, make sure, because you will lose life. Right, like I'm over here like going to the left and jumping, and I'm like, oh, and then I get hit again like that. So, you know, don't do what I did there. Just handle it normally. Go to the right. But this part is kind of cool. It could actually be a lot faster, and that would be pretty cool. But you know. All right, this fight. This is a fight that kills me, like every fight. So what I'm going to do is use the drill to get started here, into the perfect parry, into left trigger for Blood Raven counterattack, and then swap to the Taka Minakata and try to guillotine throw some guys off. It doesn't work out, but we get some Blood Raven essence, especially from the debris around, and then we start just throwing dudes. We just start throwing them and hitting ultimate techniques like this, like it's going out of style. Like we gotta use it while we got it. Beautiful. Of course. I missed my shurikens multiple times there, which made it difficult. But that fight is done. And there's no secret. No secret. And then there's a secret. So this is the Anekawa fight. You go into this little alleyway. Run back here. Get on this railing. And then it begins. He did kill me the first time because I got cocky, so don't get too cocky. Like, just, you know, pay attention to his patterns. Don't try to finish him off early, thinking you can squeeze in damage where you can't. But this weapon is really good. He has basically the same attack patterns he's always had with that move. That's his new move. But we're just going to use Blood Raven XXX here to do tons of damage and then try to build up gauge. He will shoot that at you, so always block it or avoid it. And then watch out for that sword slash. If you dodge it incorrectly, it'll catch you even on a dodge or a jump. And then again, we're just literally lighting this guy up. And I'm trying to generate more Blood Raven gauge. Into the perfect parry. And then I just back off and do ranged attacks. Like he really feels like there's just nothing he can do. I tried a UT here because I thought I broke 50% health, but I did not. So we're going to do it in just a second. Because the essence doesn't just do a lot of damage with the UT, it generates Blood Raven gauge, and that is important. So we've got more Blood Raven gauge now, so now we can just keep fighting him. Block that, and then counter with this. And we've almost got him. Watch out for his ranged attack. And then dodge this. He almost gets me, but we luckily block it. He's going crazy, but we're not having any of that. So yeah, if you use this weapon, he's pretty defenseless, and you actually hit him with an obliteration technique, so that might be part of the obliterate all enemies achievement, is to do this mission. So do not miss the Anekawa questline, because it is probably critical to that achievement. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they killed all the enemies in training mode and still didn't get that achievement. This is, I suspect why, is because that was not a bloodbath kill. That was literally just an obliteration technique. So we'll see. But grab this chest. We have now gotten all the big secrets in this mission. We are good to go, and we can now finish off the level here shortly. This is one of the trickiest laser parts in the level, and it's very far in. And as you see, I get hit. But you know what? Second time's the charm. And we're good to go. That Laser's Edge achievement is no joke, man. But just remember that you can restart the checkpoint if you ever get hit. And then that will be okay. This is the first time I ever get hit here. I've never been hit there before, so that was new. And now we are here. Aggro the enemies and then jump back for charged UT here. So we aggro them. We're charging UT. Don't mess it up, though. I release it into the wall because, you know, reasons. So I'm going back into Blood Raven form to get this party started. Now that we have some essence, we're good to go. And we get it on the best target possible, a Shuriken officer. The guillotine throw into UT is a very fun technique to pull off as well, I must say. Oh, that attack is just too strong, man. It's just too strong. Look at it. Like, they're all helpless. There's nothing they could do. They're like, ah, why? Oh my gosh. And I missed that, so I have to dodge. So just be mindful there. And now we're just taking this guy to town. We're saying nighty night, sweet prince. And he's done. Alright, so there's a chest behind us, so let's make sure we grab that. And then we're going to heal up at Umi and then tackle the end of the level. Thanks for sticking with it this long, guys. I know it's been a long one. You are going to get an accessory here, I do believe. I don't remember what one it is. Let's take a look. Oh, the Hunting God's Orb. Hunting God's Orb is pretty strong. It massively increases ranged attack damage. We are going to be equipping the Hunting God's Orb in conjunction with the Diamond Ring so that we get very strong major defense increase and major attack increase for our new weapon. Because ranged attacks are very strong, dude. They're very strong. Do I always prefer them? No. But in this case, it's going to do work, especially since we have a couple of bosses coming up. Luckily, they're both bosses you've killed before, so it will be not too bad. Early game bosses, Chapter 1, Chapter 2. But before that, make sure you come to the right here and grab your missable mission. This little box, whatever it is. Classified document. All right, here we go. We're going to be doing more carrying forward berserk stance. You can just start attacking from pretty far away here. Dodge the cannon shot and the missiles. Second missiles as well. Second cannon shot into a UT. And it does not get blocked because we absorbed essence. He's delimbed, so we'll OT him. And he's delimbed, so we'll OT him. And then we've got more UTs to fire off. Our weapon XP is getting pretty high. It's at 350,000. So it won't be too long. We'll have enough, hopefully, to upgrade the 5th weapon in the post-game pretty immediately. Let me know if you guys are interested in Master Ninja post-game content. If you want any of that or not. Otherwise, you know, I'm not sure. Should we do it? I have no idea. I have a targeting issue here where I can't target the big air dudes. So I have to like run near them and start throwing shurikens for them to target again. I don't know what it is with the targeting in this game. It seems like sometimes it just doesn't. It just loses its brain. You know what I mean? especially with UTs. But you know, maybe that's something they can fix. Or honestly, it might not be something that's much of a problem for most players until you've reached like 40 hours in the game or something. But I still think they should fix it. But for this one, again, we are going to try to build up our Berserk stance. So don't let too much time pass between rooms. We're using Guillotine Throw and then Wind Path into hopefully Obliteration Technique. There it is. We almost have Berserk stance. We're not going to use it yet. We are going to use this Essence, though, to get that DLAM on the heavy infantry guy. Say goodnight, sweet prince. Go back to Utopia. This ain't it. And then charging the UT into the Naginata strike. Missed because he tried to attack the wrong guy. That's crazy. That's so crazy to me, dude. Oh, man. So we guillotine throw that guy. Gives us time for a Blood Raven combo. And again, just the guillotine throws are ridiculous. And now that everyone's far away, they are our victims. Crazy. There's the Flying Swallows. And even though we're up close, that counts as a ranged attack, so it gets that buffed damage from our accessory. Alright, moving on to the next room. This is where we have our first boss. We're going to use Berserk Stance to delete the cannon guy. And it does some pretty good boss damage too, but that will give us Essence for the boss. We're going to use our Blood Raven X attack here because we don't want to generate... we don't want to use Ultimate Technique with the Essence at full Blood Raven gauge because it generates so much, so we want to spend some first. And then because he hits 50% health, we have another Essence to use. I get a level 2 off here. So we are just annihilating this boss because this weapon is crazy. And then again, more Blood Raven attacks. I messed up the second one there, so I dodge. And I'm waiting now for him to attack me before releasing the UT so that he doesn't block it. And then jump out of the lightning, and we're going to finish him off. And of course, he is dead. All right, one more boss to go. If you thought that boss was easy, wait till you see the next one. Nicely done, everyone. There's no chest or anything here. Come on, Yakumo. There is, I think, a chest. Yeah, right here. And then, of course, Umi is right here. So make sure you heal up. Black scale. And we got our kill 10 heavy infantry, which is just ninja coin for us, and we're already capped, so it is what it is. We have one more Gordy. I think he's in the last level of the game. I think. But I can't remember where when I think about it, so we'll see what happens. All right, on this elevator, jump forward and charge a UT. We are almost finally done with Chapter 12. It is a long one. I can't wait for Chapter 13. Chapter 13 has some boss fights, so that'll be a little bit more interesting than this endless DDO soldier gauntlet. We'll be fighting a lot of these with UTs here, and remember, this is where we will carry over Berserk Stance once again from the earlier waves, and we will also be guillotining people off of the elevator just because it's hilarious. It is a bit cheesy to be able to do that, but you know, it is pretty funny. Say goodbye. All right, we're going to have range dudes next. And again, we can block the bullets. I'm going to go for the cannon guy first. Stun him with shurikens into the UT. But yeah, you can just throw these guys. It's so dumb. Why fight these hard enemies when you can just throw them off a cliff, you know? All right, watch out for the heavy infantry guy. You cannot throw him off a cliff. But you can throw him off a cliff. And again, the guillotine throw is A plus X, so it's pretty easy to do. Oh, you think you're alive? Nope, you're not. It's so dumb, man. Oh, my God. All right, so watch out for this guy. He is our last airbender. We're going to hunt him down. I guess that makes us the bad guys. I'm sorry, Aang. But anyways, he's dead. Get ready for the next wave. There's a cannon guy here. We definitely want to deal with him because we can't throw him off with a guillotine throw. But we do have now Berserk Stance. Just don't use it yet. Bye, ninja. He's a shuriken ninja officer. And then, again, he hits us there, but somehow we're okay. Bye. And there's our UT. You might not always see the essence on the bridge, by the way, because the elevator's going up. Sometimes the essence spawns in the ground and then fades away, but you can still absorb it even though it's far away. So just keep that in mind. All right. Here we go. Jump into the middle, charge a UT. So shortly after these guys, we will actually finally reach the boss. All right, here we go. We can absorb this essence for a free UT. I recommend jumping towards the middle and... Well, actually, don't absorb the essence yet. He's going to do his stun. Wait to absorb the essence till that's done. Since I did not, I'm going to dodge his power attack and start laying into him with Blood Raven attacks. As you can see, he takes a lot of damage, so we're going to use Berserk Stance. And I'm just going to blow it on him. Just like that. This is, of course, the boss of the first level. We haven't seen him in a while, but we are much stronger now. He doesn't feel like he's designed to deal with this ranged weapon, though he does have a unique finisher with this weapon. So, a unique bloodbath kill. We're just going to dodge away from those power attacks, and before you know it, he's going to be dead, guys. And then look, yeah, with the Kage Deathbox weapon, he has a bloodbath kill animation, which I think is pretty cool that they did that. They didn't just use the Taka Minakata one from the first mission, so I appreciate that. But guys, that's the level. That is literally it. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to fast forward here. There's just cinematic. There's no boxes or anything. That is all she wrote. So thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys in chapter 13 of the Fresh Run No Item Master Ninja run. We almost have all the purgatory gates. We almost have all of the Gordies. I missed a health upgrade, but I don't think you have missed a health upgrade at this point. So everything should be going quite well for you. But until next time, this is Ninja Burrito. I'll see you.